And then Olandria, my partner, everyone. Shout out Olandria. She posted on Snapchat as well for lupus. I think they had raised $33,000 within a day.
Well, you heard it. Nick has finally and publicly hard launched Olandria, calling her his partner. If you missed it, Nick was just recently alongside Jeremiah speaking on a panel for Snapchat Business where they discussed all things Snapchat. But apart from the business side of it, Olandria supporters finally noticed that Nick had a special title for Olandria, which is a big win for the fan base if you've been around and all the things that has been said about them. This is actually the second time that he's confirming that he's with Olandria for real. The other time was also recent during Greekfest, where someone asked if Olandria was his girlfriend and he said yes. But I would say that this panel really is the hard launch because he wasn't asked about it first, he just said it. However, funny thing is, some people are upset that why did he have to call her his partner and not his girlfriend, which is weird in my opinion, because I think that partner is way serious and more respectful in a way, better than girlfriend. And when you look at Olandria and her overall aura, I think she would appreciate being called a partner. But at the end of the day, this finally confirms that they're together. Other comments I've been seeing are about how other islanders had to do like these big and extra hard launches like Huda and Luis, and of course Ace and Shelly. And I think that what people have to understand is not everyone is the same and they don't do stuff the same way. I mean, even Nick and Olandria may end up doing something like that, you never know, but even what they have now is enough because literally their picture is at Nick's house right beside his grandma's. Anyway, so the hard launch did happen, but there's even more updates. Nicolandrians have been fed today because there's this Snapchat panel that Nick went to. Olandria also spoke at Texas A&M for a woman empowerment event as a headliner, and that is not even all because Nick has also just dropped an interesting video on his channel where he's answering some questions that he's been asked on Snapchat, basically like a Q&A. Well, let us go through Olandria's interview and see what she had to say. First of all, she was asked how it has been adjusting to fame after leaving the villa only 3 months ago, and she said that it's been a whirlwind. She was also asked why she had to take a break before engaging heavily on social media after the villa, because if you noticed, she didn't jump immediately on social media. And she was also asked about how her female friends have helped her in all of this, because this was about female empowerment.
Okay, Olandria, we know you're booked and busy. I mean, you're that girl. How does it feel? I mean, you left the villa 3 months ago, and I feel like this is such a blessing to be here today with everyone. But how are you doing with all of it?
It's been a whirlwind. Honestly, I have so much support, obviously from all of you, which I love. I have an amazing team behind me that I built brick by brick. I know people was like, oh, let's get a team. I'm like, girl, I got this. Wait a minute, let me cook. And I've been eating real good. You do eat now, no, for sure. You can reach perfection, so. So just a lot of the support from all of you, my team, my family, my friends, like that's what's been keeping me grounded through this whole thing. Because obviously coming out, I was not a content creator prior to this. I was a regular 9-to-5 girly with a big.
Never regular.
Well, I'm trying to be humble here. Okay? But just coming out to like this huge platform with over 2 million followers, it's like, okay, what do I do with it now? I know I did not want to mess it up. Had to be very strategic with how I move forward, and I think I've been doing a really, really good job so far. So yeah.
I actually want to go into it a little bit, just a little follow-up, because you mentioned that you were cooking and everyone was worried, but you took a pause and you're making your team. So I just want to hear the importance of like pausing. I know everyone is trying to get the next job, they're trying to get the internship, but the fact that you took your time, and I just want to hear more about that. What does that mean for the girls today that are trying to get
So obviously, like with all that momentum that comes with like the post-villa life, taking a pause was actually a big risk. You know what I mean? Because people was like, "Ladies, we're worried about you not posting out doing this." I'm like, I get that this might be a risk, but I'm like, this is a risk that I'm willing to take. Because I'm thinking about the long game. I'm not trying to be famous for 15 minutes. I want to look down 20, 15, whatever years prior, you know what I'm saying, like long term down the road, be like, you know what, I'm still living off this very great moment right now. So I'm trying to be very strategic. So it's like when it comes to things like that, think about what you want your life to look like within the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and take your time to actually strategically plan that, get the right people behind you to be able to put that dream in motion. You get what I'm saying? Don't step out and take the first offer that's given to you, or take the first person that's willing to help you. Like, bring them all in, like, you know what, do I see this person really working for me or really helping me get to where I need to be? Take your time, take notes, and try to interview everybody. I interviewed everybody. And it was like, this is what I want my life to look like. How are you willing to step into this space and help me get there? Let me see how what that plan looks like to you. And I finally found my match, and she's been doing one hell of a job. Shout out to Amanda.
That's absolutely amazing. And I think preparing and trusting your intuition, right? And even trusting God that He has a plan, and taking your time, taking to pause. I know the girlies out here, we don't be pausing. We need to take a second just to, recuperate, right? So, and you did mention your friends and family being a really big support for you. And I know I have my bestie, right? You're your bestie. I want to hear about the role that female friendships have had in your life so far, and how you have maintained these friendships as you've grown up and going through your journey.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. So friendships mean the world to me. My very first best friend, I met her in first grade back in 2005. We're still friends, 20-year friendship right there. I don't play about her, she don't play about me. My next bestie, I met her, but it's so funny because I met these girls at different phases of my life. Obviously, you have your childhood bestie. I met my other bestie in middle school. You go through puberty, you becoming a woman, you feel a little weird. Like, girl, you feel that? We know, girl. What's going on with us? You know what I mean? So I met her then. I met another bestie in high school, another one in college, and post-grad. Like me moving to Houston, connecting with a girl that actually is from around the same city as me, and kind of just went through that phase of life with her. So it's like every single friend that I have, I met them in a different phase of my life. So they know different parts of me, you know what I mean? Yeah. Some watched me grow from a kid to a woman, and some met me in adulthood. They all experienced different phases of me. So I appreciate them. Literally while I was gone, one bestie, she ran my account. Like, I love her. That's what she call y'all. But she did an amazing job. My friend even made a professional email for me for brands to contact me while I was in the villa. They were emailing them back to keep them on, like, hey, she's going to respond, like, she's doing this, she's doing that. Handling all of that.
Wow.
Came back to an inbox with over thousands and thousands of brand partnerships. All of that was set up. So as soon as I got my manager, I was like, here's my inbox. Do what you gotta do. So like my friends literally set me up for success. Wow. All of these brand partnerships we see like getting like out the gate, they did that because you know what I mean. Like they set that email up for me. My besties responded to my DMs for me while I was away. They wanted to see me win. One thing about it, even prior to this life, they would get on me. Oh man, you need to post on TikTok. Get us off the hood, girl. Do this, do that, do this. On my Instagram, like, oh, you need to archive this picture. This just doesn't flow with your algorithm, with your page. They've been on me. One thing about it, they never wanted to step into my spotlight. They were like, girl, we in the back. We in the background, but this is all for you. That's one thing about it. Get people in your corner that wants to see you win, not someone who want to be in competition with you. That's not your friend.
That is not your We do talk about that. You know, my bestie here, we're locked in, so that's you said it correctly.
Oh, for sure.
And there's enough room for everybody to eat. That's
and they're gonna be eating real good. Like, hold on, slow your roll. But they're gonna be eating real good. One thing about it, I'm all about loyalty. You got me, I got you forever. And I mean that. I'm gonna stand by that.
You heard that? You heard it first. I have to ask because you stepped into the spotlight, you know, right after, and we would say people have like a limited perception of you, right, outside of the villa. So how is it when people don't really know the real Olandria?
It was tough because obviously coming out to this huge platform, obviously you see these things about you want to say something like, oh, girl, what you talking about? You know what I mean? But it's like, let me rephrase that, okay? It was hard coming out because like I know who I am. My friends know who I am, but no, that's not, you know what I'm saying? So it was tough, but I have to keep reminding myself in those moments. I have to just continue to stay grounded and just drown out the outside noise. Because obviously you got your internal voices that stand on these things, but the world is even louder because it's way more than just you. It's so many people with all these different opinions talking about you and don't even really know what they're talking about. So I have to keep reminding myself, you know what? you know who you are. Don't let the world tell you who you are. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
and
you held yourself with grace.
You did.
Oh, for sure.
Grace, girl. The epitome of grace.
thank you. I really appreciate it. It took a while to get there. I wasn't always that graceful, but I'm so appreciative that that's where I am now, and I was able to show other young women. You don't have to show your behind or crash out or do whatever. Just be graceful. One thing about it I've learned, there is so much power in silence. You will be so surprised and so amazed on how fast you'll take somebody out by not giving them that same energy back. One thing about me, I always said I always allow my success to be my official clap back, and that can fill up everything.
You might have to say it again.
A girl's girl.
I want to, hear a little bit about self-trust, right? And how you navigate trusting yourself with all this outside noise that's going on. How did you get to that point where you could really feel, like you can trust yourself and how you feel and how you want to move in your decisions?
Yeah, so one thing about like as far as like the post-villa life, I stay grounded in my practices. I continue to journal, maybe do a quick little walk, listen to my gospel playlist or R&B playlist, and just
You got a song for them?
Which one?
You got a song for them that like your go-to song?
Honestly, I keep my playlist on shuffle because it eats down. Hello. I might share my other one as well. All of the songs eat, so it's not really a specific go-to song.
I'm gonna need a gospel playlist. I love playing.
Oh, girl, I listen to it on here. I remember every morning I start my day off with a little bit of gospel. Like that's who got me here. I would never stray away from that. One thing you heard in here, how successful I get, how much money I touch, I'm never straying away from what got me here. So. And I guess it's like dealing with the post-villa life, like staying grounded in my practices to kind of help calms my mom when I'm feeling like a little out of whack. But another thing, just separating, I guess, projection from actual, like, let me see, how can I put this? What's the word? People, I came out to a whole bunch of opinions and all that, and obviously I love constructive criticism, which that's different from like projection. Some people project their fears onto you, like, no, you shouldn't do that, because this might happen. I'm like, well, I'm not scared to take a risk. I took a risk and that got me here. You know what I mean? So you gotta kind of separate folks people projecting their fears onto you, which kind of makes you scared to move in your own way. Which I've been doing an amazing job of like blocking out the noise, kind of taking, I guess, those certain advice that people be giving me. It kind of like highlights the blind spots in my own career that I didn't quite see at first. Like, you know what? That's a good take. Let me take this to my manager, see what she thinks. But I'm not moving up what you're saying. I'm like, you know what?
We're taking it with a grain of salt.
Exactly. And you know what I mean? Like, that has gotten me really, really far too. Like I said, it kind of highlights blind spots in my career that I didn't quite see for myself or my teammates missed. You get what I'm saying? But those projections and all those fears, I'm like, oh, you can keep those. Thank you, but I don't need the fake, because you know what I mean?